Are live.
Hi everyone, I have a special guest with me today. This is my husband, Matthew Mason, and he is going to ask questions that some of you probably have. Also, this is going to be our last Facebook Live until mid-January. So ask us all your questions today or wait until January of 2023. Matthew?
Hello, thanks for having me here. So I do have a question. I have bought custom-made jewelry before, or even when I've come in to purchase jewelry, and I'm asked what I'm willing to spend or what my budget is. That always makes me feel a bit uncomfortable, like the answer I give is going to dictate the cost of what something would be. How would you reply to that?
So the big fear here is that we're going to try to upsell at every opportunity. This is not the case. What we're trying to do is direct you to the correct sort of frame of reference for the jewelry. If you tell us that your budget is under $100, we say great. And we try to show you the appropriate pieces, because at Jewel Envy we have so much jewelry and we have such a variety of price points. It's not helpful all the time to just say look around, because you might not be able to find the pieces in your range. But in addition to that, it's also going to help us, if you're looking for something custom, figure out what the right gemstones would be or suggest alternatives. So if you tell us that your budget is something like $500 and you want gemstones and a metal but you don't know what metal, we're going to then sort of figure out what the gemstones fit in that budget and whether we're going to be doing silver or gold or something else. So it only helps us point you in the correct direction, but we're never trying to upsell you. We're just trying to alleviate wasting your time with suggesting things that are nowhere near what you would like to spend.
All right, I have another question.
Yes, please.
I think what a lot of people are used to right now is being able to find something, point and click, and have it there the next day. But a lot of custom-made jewelry don't follow those timelines. So what would be a typical amount of time from like walking to the store to, for the initial conversations to walking out with a finished piece?
So that timeline is quite variable. This falls into the slow fashion category. So this is slow making. That means that everything depends on the kind of rapport we develop, how quickly we establish a design, how quickly a customer gives a deposit. Those things can take months, and it can be nothing to do with us. It can just be that a design needs many, many revisions, or customers are, unable to be in touch with us for long periods of time. But once we have a deposit, our typical timeline for making something is 4 to 6 weeks. Now, if it's especially complicated or it requires special order of gemstones or metals, they're just unusual, we might give a longer timeline. If a goldsmith is busier than usual, they might also give a longer timeline, but we are very on target with what we say.
All right, thank you.
So we sort of have to build anticipation, and we do like to keep in touch with customers so they know how progress is going.
All right. When would you direct someone to a custom-made piece, and what would be the benefits of that versus, say, something that is already pre-made, for lack of a better term, in the store right now? Like, what criteria would you use for that?
So, this store has everything. It's amazing. Come and see it. But when a customer is in the store, if they're looking for something in particular that we don't have, then we say it's custom made. There's no surcharge. There's no additional fee for having something designed and made just for you. It's just that you get the thing that is not already out. So it can be just a variation on something that we have. So you see a pendant and you think it's the perfect piece, but you just wish it had a ruby instead of an amethyst, or instead of a sapphire, you'd like it to be a quartz. That would be a custom order, because we would be taking the design, not taking the stone out, making a new one for you. Or let's say you have an idea for something, you've done some sketches at home, you've done a little bit of research, and you'd like someone to bring that idea to life. That would be a custom piece. So it's not that we say do one over the other, it's if you don't see what you're looking for, we can make it happen.
And if there is something that exists right now that you see and you like, is it possible to work with the artist to do something that you might have had in your head, to add to it in some way, like add an animal or design or something like that, a ruby you're mentioning, like that type of...
Definitely.
A bird on it.
A bird!
Put a bird on it. Yes, so the first thing I say to customers when they come into the shop that are looking for something to be custom made is I say look around and see if there's a particular artist whose design aesthetic you like, because they're going to be a great match for working together to bring your vision to life. So we're going to say walk around, see if there's someone that you think you want to work with, and then we're going to set up a consultation with that person. The consults are free, the sketches are free, the quotes are free. We are only saying give a deposit when you love something and you really want to see it come to life and wear it home.
I have one final question.
Yes.
So during the pandemic, a lot of people worked from home for the first time ever. You have been living and working sort of in the same space for much longer than that. What are some of the pros and cons you find with that setup?
Yes, so for those that don't know, I essentially live in my store. Well, I live above the store.
Sometimes live in the store, but
sometimes
yes.
in the store. The pros during the pandemic especially was that I was always able to work. The cons, I don't leave enough, which is why I adopted a dog very early on in this location. Because she gave me a reason to leave the house. Then I met you, then we had a kid, then there's all these other reasons to leave the house. It's very like family balance efficient, I would say. It makes it possible to have a family and still get all the work done when it's so close. I mean, a close commute wouldn't be a big deal, but commuting a distance would. One of the big cons was during the pandemic, the store became my daughter's entertainment area, and it was harder to get work done. Your daughter too.
Also my daughter. Yes, that's good. All right, those
are good questions.
Well, thank
These
you.
are actually legitimate questions that Matthew has asked from the beginning. When we first met, he thought I strung beads together and did not understand what a goldsmith
Yeah, I
did.
wasn't so sure, and then I was like, wow, this is a real operation.
Yeah, you thought I strung beads together, sat in front
That's
of the TV.
what they always think. That's what they
On a milk crate and
sold them on Queen Street. Yeah, I understand. He wasn't sure I was employed. Let's be honest.
Yes, it was pleasantly surprised.
Are there questions for us
it
to
is,
answer?
popped up.
And none of these were done ahead of time as well, so these answers were
Beautifully
live
added.
on the spot. So.
Got all the answers today.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm wishing everyone a wonderful end of this year. I look forward to seeing all of you again in the new year. Drop in. We're open until December 24th at 4 o'clock, and then we close until January. We reopen on the 3rd for regular business hours. Okay. Thanks for coming.
Cool.
Thanks for participating.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Bye.